And someone else who is no stranger to San Bernardino, someone who we would see him often because we shared the same media market with Los Angeles, of course. Someone who was always in the news. I met when he was John Longville's speaker in the Assembly, and someone who has always been a thoughtful steward of good policy, supportive of the environment, investments in education, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. As Alan said, we made a little bit of news. It was a private letter I wrote to Debbie Wasserman Schultz a few weeks ago that made its way into the paper. But I have formally asked the Democratic National Committee to host the May debate that is already planned here in San Bernardino. And there's always politics involved with these things. I don't have to tell the mayor and the city attorney that, but I can tell you that the reception I've received from my colleagues has been very, very good. Nobody has had any reservations or difficulties with it. I think both candidates have a say in this process as well. And I think we also need to continue to talk about not only the December 2nd tragedy, but the community of San Bernardino, where we have been, where we are going, the types of policies that make sense for communities like San Bernardino, investments in education as the city works through its bankruptcy, making sure we invest in those hard-hit communities hit by the Great Recession. You know, those are the types of things that will help ensure that both candidates sign on and weigh in and support our efforts to host the debate here. So I'm confident that we're going to get our fair shake. I don't know about our prospects. Some of you have asked me to handicap that. Maybe we can lean on our friends like the mayor to be advocates for us as well. It's nothing like calling someone out when you're at the podium and you have the mic. You know, the broader coalition that we can build in order to have it here, to make the case that the struggles that we have in San Bernardino County are not unique to San Bernardino County. They are the struggles that everyday Americans have across this country as we struggle with gun violence, as we struggle with an economy that isn't working for so many people. Those are things that will resonate with the campaigns and with the committee, and those are areas where I think we will have an opportunity to make our case and hopefully host the last Democratic presidential debate in May. As Alan mentioned, and as many of you know, I grew up here in San Bernardino. One of my jobs in college was working here, working at this very golf course, cleaning golf carts in the cart barn a couple hundred yards away from where we are. I would wake up early as a student, and I would start at 6 a.m. and I would work till usually about 1 p.m. While I was managing my full coursework at the University of Redmond. So it's always great to be back here at Arrowhead. And to be fortunate enough to be one of only 3 Democrats in 2014, with your help, elected to Congress. Only 3 seats changed from red to blue in 2014. And it's up to all of us to make sure that that number isn't 3 this year. That the number of seats that go from red to blue increases. Not just in Congress, but in the Assembly and in every branch of government that we have here in California. This is our year. As we mentioned before, and I'm sure both of our speakers will talk about the great dysfunction and the values that we stand for as a region, as a state, and as a nation. And the things that we hear on cable television, that doesn't line up with who we are as a community. And we need to make sure that we utilize that we talk about our values, that we talk about our values of encouraging and supporting those with the very least among us. And those are the types of things that are going to help build our ranks. Now, we need 30 seats in the House, and there isn't a member of Congress who has said publicly that we're going to get there. But I can tell you what, we could narrow that number down dramatically by building on seats. There are 22 Republicans right now in seats that voted for the president in 2012. We should automatically be able to play in those seats. We should be able to play in many more as well. So I look forward to working with my colleagues and the leadership in the House to make sure that we grow our ranks in Congress. But I need your help too. A lot of you are living in the 31st Congressional District. district, and we need to make sure that we keep this seat blue. And I appreciate your continued help and friendship and support that you've shown me. In 14 months, I've been able to advocate, to continue to advocate for women's reproductive rights, making investments in education. Those are the types of things, supporting our environment. I'm proud to have the support of the League of Conservation Voters, Planned Parenthood, and groups and organizations who we all believe in. But there's a lot at stake in this election, and it starts with the Supreme Court nomination that the president just made. Hopefully Republicans will give him an opportunity for that individual to have a fair hearing, but if not, it'll be left to the next president. And that's going to have impacts on future generations as well. I was invited to, some of you know that I've been very supportive of the president's environmental record, and he signed the Desert Protection Act, the Antiquities Act, which named three national monuments. Here just last month, the president invited me to join with Senator Feinstein and Representative Raul Ruiz, my colleagues, for a signing ceremony in the Oval Office on Monday. And we talked about our efforts to support the environment. We talked about what it meant to have programs like the National Park Service that allows every fourth grader, to print out a free card to go into a national park. So young people all over this country have an opportunity to visit at no cost a national park to continue to benefit from the environment and the investments that we've made. But I'm a San Bernardino kid at heart, so some of you heard me say that. I rode on Air Force One with the president in December. He sent me a very nice picture back after that. But I was in the Oval Office, and I decided to appropriate some M&Ms that I'm going to give to my aunt, and what she does with it, if she puts it in a basket or whatever she does. I don't think these are supposed to be auctioned off or anything like that. But whatever my aunt does with it, I am giving it to my aunt, and she can do whatever. You do whatever you want. I'm giving my aunt contraband. There's no M&Ms in here. I ate them all. But no. I'm just joking. They have the presidential seal, and so. Yay! You know, my rule, when you're in the White House, when you're visiting the White House, is if it isn't bolted down, it's fair game. So I try, Mr. Mayor. You've been on these planes, you've been on Air Force One, and, you know, you're looking around, napkins, you know, anything is fair game. But I always appreciate the opportunity to represent this community. It has given me so much opportunity. I thank you for the time. I thank you for the continued friendship. It means a lot to me that you all have my back as I work to help make San Bernardino County a better place with all of you. Thank you so much.
You've got it. All right. Woo!